Good evening and welcome to this fifth episode with me, Nicholas Brodell from Brodell's. Today we'll be talking about which NFL games should be watched this season and which teams to really look out for and root to potentially go into the Super Bowl. So I was looking at a website on my phone, NFL.com. I mean, it's the NFL, so go see that and all the stats would be helpful to anyone who wants to know which team to root for if they're a bandwagon or if their team's not doing too well. Um, I'm a Houston Texans fan, but I got to stick true to my team for better or for worse, even though we're having a very difficult time this season. Um, so the teams that I would recommend that people should watch their games are definitely right now the Cardinals, the Packers, unfortunately the Titans. They're a big rival of the Texans. Unfortunately the Cowboys, the other Texas team, the Rams, Ravens, Bills, Buccaneers, um, Chiefs, and surprisingly the Patriots, even though they don't have Tom Brady. But it seems like Mac Jones and the Patriots are doing pretty good this year. Not too bad. Um, so the top three teams right now are the Cardinals, Packers, and Titans with win loss 8-2. Um, so looking at what who the Cardinals have to play. Oh, on the 21st, they play at Seattle. That should be an interesting game. Um, Even though I have Russell Wilson on fantasy and he's injured right now, I think they still have a pretty good lineup. Um, and the Rams, they're also a very good team right now because they just got Von Miller and Odell Beckham Jr. So you might want to watch those games. So the Cardinals versus the Rams, it's going to be a heck of a game. December 13th. Recommend that you watch that. Um, and for those watching, and for those of you watching later, this is December 13th of 2021. I'm not sure when you're going to watch this video. I don't know if y'all are watching this a year from now. Um, and then at the they let me see what else the Cardinals have to go against. The Saints have done okay. They haven't done too well because Drew Brees is no longer there since he retired. Um, the Packers, I'm not sure if they're going to be going on an upward spike or a downward spike because of Aaron Rodgers being on the COVID reserve and all that drama, and Devontae Adams being injured here and there. Definitely, they are looking at my wall. I have all these NFL football teams. So in the NFC North, it's going to be a big game at the Vikings, the December 21st. Green Bay. That should be a great game to watch. The 28th against the Rams, which I said have a heck of a team this year, and Matthew Stafford is doing a lot better with the weapons he has with him. Um, and then the Packers go against the Bears December 12th. That should be an interesting game since it's also a division rival. But I would think the Packers have it, even though the Bears just got a new quarterback through the draft. I'd say up and coming quarterbacks that are going to be stars for the rest of their career are definitely Patrick Mahomes from the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's why I recommend you watch that. Plus, he has Travis Kelsey, one of the top tight ends. Even though I don't care much for him because of rivalry with the Texans. And he does not just have Travis Kelsey. He has so many others like Tyreek Hill. Oh my gosh. Uh, and then another up and coming quarterback and team that should be watched are the Bills with Josh Allen. I think he's going to have a heck of a career. Um, and then the Chargers are doing okay, but I think they could be doing better. But Justin Herbert, I think, is an up and coming quarterback, even though he's not as good as the other two that I previously mentioned. Lamar Jackson has been doing going up and down, so he's pretty interesting to watch if he does really well because he can really run that ball. So in regards to other other games being watched this season, top games, I'm looking at the Rams schedule. I already mentioned that they go against the Packers and the Cardinals. Um, they're definitely going to beat the Jaguars. I don't care much for the Jaguars. um, and then, unfortunately, uh, they beat the Texans. But I mean, that's to be expected because of what's been happening this year. Um, so the Rams go against the Chargers, which I think would be pretty interesting. Um, because you have a one veteran quarterback that has a lot of new weapons versus a young quarterback who's still up on the going uphill with his career. Um, another another. I mean, if you're a Cowboys fan, even though I'm certainly not a Cowboys fan, I definitely I would definitely watch some of their games this year, as I mentioned, because they have been doing surprisingly well this year. They go against the Chiefs. I don't think they're going to win that one, the Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys are going to win. On November 21st, um, I'd be interested in seeing the December 2nd game against the Saints because they still have a lot of good people and they have Alvin Kamara. Oh my gosh, he's really good at what he does. And then Michael Thomas is coming back from injury in a few weeks, I believe. So hopefully he can play against the Cowboys and give them a good challenge. Um, I would also watch. Uh, I they 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 go against the Redskins twice, and I mean to be expected. I think the Cowboys definitely have that in the bag, beating them. Even though looking at my wall with all the NFL team logos and their divisions, I see. Where's the Cow? Oh yes, the Redskins are rivals of theirs, but I really think the Cowboys have it in this year to go to the playoffs. Unfortunately, um, they go against the Texans, which unfortunately they're going to beat us, and the Jaguars. That's going to be an easy dub for them. Um, and also be interested to watch the Bengals. They're doing so right now, 5-4. They could be going on a streak and doing well. Joe Burrow could be a new person doing very well on the team because he did okay last year. I think he can do better. Um, Even though to be expected they lost to the Packers, and that's when Aaron Rodgers was not on the COVID reserve list. So, in regards to Bengals fans, I would watch them go against the Chargers on December 5th, young quarterback versus young quarterback. Um, I would also watch them go against the Ravens since they are rivals as well because they're in the same division. And I'd watch the Browns game on January 9th, 2022. Um, they're rivals because in the AFC North, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, and Browns. That's a pretty tough division if you have the Browns and Ravens. I don't think that the Bengals or Steelers are going to be able to do it this year. So my prediction is that the Browns just lost Odell Beckham Jr., so I would think the Ravens are going to be definitely in the playoffs. I would also say for AFC East, which has the Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots, and the New York Jets, I'd say if you're an AFC East fan, I'd watch the Bills and Patriots games. Patriots are doing surprisingly well without Tom Brady, the GOAT. But the Bills have Josh Allen and so many other good people. Stephon Diggs, oh my gosh. AFC South, unfortunately, Texans I don't think are going to make the playoffs this year. I think between the Colts, Jaguars, and Titans, I think the Titans, unfortunately, going to make the playoffs again. Um, if you're a big football fan and want to pay attention to AFC South, I'd put my bets, unfortunately, on Tennessee Titans games. Um, Also in AFC West, it's the Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Chargers, and Las Vegas Raiders. I definitely put my money on Kansas City because they have so many good players and they have one of the best coming quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes. If he gets, he's probably going to be in a few more Super Bowls. Um, as in regards to NFC North, the Bears, the Lions, the Packers, and the Vikings, I definitely pay attention, as I mentioned before, the Packers since they're having a hell of a good season right now. Um, NFC East, I said that I think the Cowboys are going to top that, and the Giants, Eagles, and Redskins are not. Um, NFC South, between the Falcons, Panthers, Saints, and Buccaneers, I think it's going to try to be a tight battle between Buccaneers and Saints. Let me think again. I think the Buccaneers are going to do it because they already beat the Saints last year, and that was with Drew Brees. So, yeah, I think the Buccaneers are definitely making the playoffs, and I'd watch out for those types of games that they have. And then for NFC West, they have a pretty good teams. NFC West have the Arizona Cardinals, the Los Angeles Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, and the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are not doing too well. The other three, I think, will do well, but especially the Cardinals and Rams. I definitely pay attention to those in the NFC West. So I think a few wild cards that could be put in to the playoffs if one of the two teams, Cardinals or Rams, don't make it. They will make the wild card. And looking at the board again, um, maybe the Browns might make a wild card. I don't know. Um, but yeah, of the teams mentioned, I'd watch those games and put my money on that because they should be exciting teams to watch since they have electric players. um, but teams I would not waste my time on right now are the Detroit Lions. They're 0-8, which is terrible. The New York Jets are rebuilding. Houston Texans are rebuilding, unfortunately. Jaguars, even though they got Trevor Lawrence, they are building up. Um, so for this episode, I'd like to tell you that if you could please subscribe to my sports newsletters once I have it up. I'm working on that, but have a lot of other stuff to do. But I hope I hope that you're liking this video and tell your friends about it. Um, so back to teams that I wouldn't watch. Oh wow! Surprisingly, the Seahawks are not doing too well. I'm guessing this because Russell Wilson has been injured. Um, so yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you found this video very informative. And have a good have a good football season, and go Texans, even though we're not doing too well this year. Good night.